Amahe Yahu Amahe Yo Mamahe Yahu Mamahe Yo wo, 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 wo. Today I'm going to share with you what is now known as the legend of Bear Whale. And the reason why I want to share this with you is so that you can further understand how exactly I have been traveling the world on such a very limited budget, committing myself to great service in order to experience also the greatest freedom of my life, living beyond my greatest dreams, and how this can relate to helping you possibly move forward in your life as an individual, but also as a collective, how we can move through this great challenge that we're faced with, to come together and to allow the next phase of life on earth, the golden era, to be birthed through us. Okay? So I'll start with this story. I had just been through my second divorce, or actually a separation with my fiance, close enough. And in that separation, I had the opportunity, an invitation to join a good friend of mine, Josh, and two of his friends that I'd never met before on this road trip towards a place called Gaspésie in Quebec, here in Canada. And looking at my wallet, I saw that I had literally just enough money likely to go on this trip. And if I went, I would return with zero in my account. Yet I knew it was important that I take this step because of what I was going through. It was time to help release this process and enter into the next phase. So the four of us journeyed down the road, and I don't know how many hours, days. I think it took one day to get to where we're going, and we finally reached, after a long drive, our destination. And we went for a walk here in this forest that was situated at the opening of the St. Lawrence River and the Atlantic Ocean. It's what some people called long ago the very edge of the earth, as the natives saw it. So as we were walking along this path in this park, this couple coming the other way stopped us and warned us, "Be careful, there's a bear up ahead." The four of us looked at each other and questioned, "Oh no, a bear, what should we do? Should we go the other way and avoid the bear and the danger that it presents? Or do we carry forward because part of us really wants to see this bear, this great, magnificent creature?" And so we decided, after speaking really briefly, to just continue forward slowly and to see if we could come across this bear. So as we came around the corner, we began to approach this bear. It was a black bear, fully grown, but as you know, black bears aren't overly large. And this bear was just peacefully grazing, eating what looked to be berries in this bush. The sun was shining down. There were flowers and all these magnificent colors. And it was just the most beautiful sight. So as we approached the bear to get as close as we could to see this magnificent creature, we just paid attention to its body language, and eventually it turned its head and saw us, noticed that we were standing there. And so we knew we were at our limit. Yet at this point we were probably about 30 feet away from this bear. But we respected him, he respected us. And we stayed with that bear for a moment. As he continued to eat, he eventually walked off towards what was the opening of the ocean. So we could see him, and behind him was the ocean. And as he is walking along in this perfect moment of time, this whale surfaced exactly above where the bear was. So the bear was here and the whale went right over above it. The only whale we saw on that trip, the only bear we saw on that trip, together in this miracle moment. Bear, whale. The four of us just looked at each other. We couldn't believe what we had just seen. And so this stuck with me really deeply. This great lesson that much like wanting to follow this bear, follow our hearts to see this bear, we're faced with our fears. And yet in our ability to continue forward, following our hearts, going through our fears, we are faced then with the miracle as it unfolds before us, much like this bird that's coming to join me. So this has led me so far to recognize, follow my heart, go through my fears, release them, and watch the miracle unfold in the process. And then, of course, in the next stage, I'm again asked to follow my heart, follow the inspiration. And in doing so, will find myself in a new place in time, facing new fears or old fears resurfacing. Again, for me to continue forward in trust and to observe the miracle as it unfolds. This is the legend of Bear Whale, and it has guided me around the world on a number of occasions, buying one-way tickets, spending all of my money, landing, trusting, observing, listening what inspiration arises when I land in this country, in this place. What am I to create? What am I to share? What am I to offer? How can I be of service? And naturally in doing so, I give to life, life gives back to me, and I face my fears in the process. So here now many of us are being called to take great steps, to take new steps, follow new inspirations or old visions, old inspirations that we haven't moved forward towards. Some of them may be little steps. Some of them may be big, big, big steps. Yet just learning to trust, learning to have faith in this process of stepping more and more deeply into our hearts, sharing this beautiful gift that we have to offer, and no longer giving into our fears anymore. So as we are learning to do this more and more of us are able to be in the flow, in the magic, in the miracle, to become the magic of life as it's unfolding through us, and just allowing ourselves step by step to move forward, not always knowing where it's going to lead us, how we're going to get to where we want to go even, but just taking the step here and now, the simple step laid before us. And when we take that step, the next step is shown to us. And to continue in trust and faith, not giving into fear, not giving into doubt. In those moments they may arise, we can see them, we can feel them, and yet know that we are safe and continue forward. So here now, as a collective, we may be in a time where we have no idea what the future holds for us in a way. It's really brought up this fear, this doubt, this unknowing, and a chance for us to gain this skill, to firstly be willing to let go of old plans, old ideas, old ways, to more deeply take time to listen to what our heart is saying, and to once again learn to take those simple steps laid before us. And in doing so, we shall know that nothing can stop us. This is the way of life as it unfolds, through us as it flows, through us in which we are, learning, growing, expressing all that we are. Thank you so much for taking this time. I send you the love from my heart to your heart as we walk this journey here together as family. Mwah. Hooyah!